Hi, I'm Jonathan, a building biologist and the founder of JF Healthy Homes. Today I'm here to share my story of living with EHS for the past 15 years. It was right around that 15-year mark. My parents installed solar panels. I had already been going through a lot of mold issues and being treated for MARCoNS and CRS. And as soon as those solar panels kicked on, my health, it was almost like a switch turned on. It was like everything changed. I felt normal one day, and then the next day, it just, I couldn't sleep, couldn't think. First, it was more so like unease, anxiety, palpitations, and a lot of depression. And then when I would fall asleep, it wasn't restful sleep. I was just became very angry. My tinnitus would be like nonstop, pretty much. And I lived in the room at the very top, right, surrounded by all those inverters. I would have like eye twitches, a lot of headaches, a lot of like that pressure feeling, nervousness, numbness, and like my extremities would go numb, like to the point of like my circulation not functioning properly. We know from EHS effects it deteriorates the myelin sheath, which is the protective sheathing around the nerves. Over time, it's eating away at that. It's really deteriorating it, and then that gets down into the like whole of or the science of VGCCs, which are voltage gated calcium channels, right? Constantly releasing calcium from our cells, causing our cells not to be able to function in the mitochondrial capacity that they should, autophagy, all these different aspects of cells. And then once it deteriorates to a certain point, then you just get burning. And that's where a lot of clients come to us. They're like, I'm sitting at my desk and my toes start burning. Well, it's because you have a power strip at your feet that's putting off a bunch of frequency. Typical Western medicine, and they just wanted to treat the symptoms, right? And that's like where I tell people with building biology, a house is just like a body where if you just treat the symptoms, the root cause will remain and keep causing symptoms. So I fell for that for a little while, just out of sheer exhaustion and I guess desperation and trying to feel better, but soon started to realize that that was not going to be a long-term solution. I started reading a lot and kind of doing my own research into natural healing. So I did a lot of grounding, getting a lot of sunshine, exercise, started doing like cold baths and sauna until I found a way to shield some of that dirty electricity, at least what we call microsurge electrical pollution, or also known as dirty electricity, that was coming from those solar panels, and that ultimately helped me heal a lot. You're not really removing the dirty electricity, we're just kind of, I call it shunting it down to a less annoying frequency, from that 2 kilohertz to 100 kilohertz to something that's not so aggravating to our biology. Ultimately, that helped my health immensely. People automatically deem that you're insane because it could never be the electricity, it could never be the solar panels, it can never be the smart meter. It's like we don't consider that electricity is pretty new to our world, and we've pretty much accelerated it at every chance we could without thinking or considering or prioritizing the health effects on not just humans, but our natural environment. We trust those around us, those who quote unquote have our best interests in mind, to give us things that are not going to harm us, when in reality there hasn't been enough data and studies on most of them. Maybe you don't hear it, some people can with a severe EHS, right? But you feel it, your body feels it. It's eye-opening to see the levels that people are living in still, to me, that I can feel it that much, so I can help them, live better themselves and kind of fully empathize with how they might be feeling or how they might feel eventually, right? Because it's cumulative. Like our bodies can mend themselves once we can stop taking on that amount of radiation. Hiring someone like myself, a building biologist, to come and assess your home and look at the different aspects of EMF, because a lot of times it's the low-hanging fruit that we can fix things very easily or shield things very easily. And then empowering yourself, right? Maybe getting a tri-field or one of those meters and just measuring, just being curious and looking at different aspects, and then just using all these lovely products to shield yourself and then reaching out for professional help if you need it.